This is how you treat a barren woman. Shame on Yaakov Avinu. Okay, how do we get to that? So it comes to a fascinating exchange between Yaakov and Rachel in our parsha, right? Rachel is having trouble conceiving. She doesn't have children. Right? She becomes jealous of her sister, who is quite productive in that area, right? Vatera Rachel kilo yadal Yaakov. Rachel sees she hasn't borne any children to Yaakov. She gets jealous of Rachel and she says to Yaakov, Havali banim v'im ayin meta anochi. Right? Give me children or I'm going to die. Right? Vayichar af Yaakov v'Rachel, and Yaakov got angry at Rachel and he said, Hatachad Elohim anochi, am I in place of God? Am I God that I did this to you? Right? Yaakov looks at his wife. She's distressed, right? Distraught. She's barren. That's how you respond, with anger, right? Am I in place of God? Maybe I'll daven for you. Let me see what we can do. What kind of response is that from Yaakov Avinu? So the Ramban posits two possibilities in defense of Yaakov's actions. Number one, he says, even at tzaddik such as Yaakov Avinu, he can't guarantee success in tefillos, right? There's no magic pill, as we say. There's no button he can push and make Hashem do what he wants to be done. Right? And Rachel's request, give me children, meaning you, Yaakov, force God to give me children, is an inappropriate request because that is an inappropriate and wrong manner of prayer. Right? Davening is asking, it's requesting, beseeching, but not demanding and certainly not asking for guarantees. Second thing the Ramban says is the exaggeration, the threat of I'll kill myself. Right? That's not appropriate either. Right? If it's a real threat, it's not appropriate. And if it's not, which the Ramban does not believe it is, right? In modern day language, right, we would say, right, that's offensive to those who really have mental health issues. Don't threaten suicide. What kind of activity is that? Exaggeration in that type of a field with those type of ideas, that's wrong also. And therefore, Yaakov gets angry at Rachel. I'll give you a third from the Akedas Yitzchak. So he writes, with Yitzchak Arama writes in his commentary to the Chumash that what was Yaakov angry about? This is like reverse feminism. That Rachel believed that her sole purpose in existence, a woman's sole purpose in existence, is having children. And she didn't realize there's a greater purpose in having children. That's living an authentic, right, moral lifestyle, being a person with good deeds. Right? He says there's two names for women in the Torah. There's Isha and there's Chava. Chava is Ein Kol Chai, is the mother of all beings. That is the woman who reproduces, who gives birth to children. But an Isha, right, is the parallel of Ish, and that's a human being. It's a person, it's a woman who can accomplish so much, right, separate from the fact that she's able to bear children. She only saw herself, Rachel, as a producer of children, as a Chava, and not as an Isha, and therefore Yaakov comes to rebuke her. And again, the anti-feminist twist. Okay? All of that is right, and nevertheless, right, each of those three things is certainly correct. Nevertheless, the Medrash in Bereshit Rabbah says that Kadosh Baruch Hu says to Yaakov after Yaakov's outburst, Kach onin esamalkot. This is how you oppress those who are in distress. Right? In the Medrash, God says to Yaakov, shame on you. This is not how you treat somebody who's barren, who's having trouble, who's emotionally distraught. Chas v'shalom, we don't do that. Right, now, is this Medrash arguing on the Ramban, on Yitzchak Rama? Probably not, right? But together we would say, yes, Yaakov is right. Okay? In all 3 points, Yaakov's right. But there's a way in which you respond. There's a sensitivity in which you say things. And that he was lacking. Right? In that sense, the Medrash says, shame on you, Yaakov Avinu. You should have been more compassionate. You should have been more considerate, more empathetic. All right. That is 100% true. We should always have empathy to those who are distraught. And at the same time, right, don't make fun of mental illness. Don't underappreciate the role of women. And certainly when we daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, don't demand, don't expect, but ask, beseech, and request, for that is tefillah. Shabbat shalom.